give you his side,
I'll give you her side.
but together, there's only one side.
All pointing to the one source.
In the beginning,
This is the
One
One Flesh
Flesh
Podcast. On today's episode of the One Flesh Podcast, we are going to be talking about the transition into parenthood. If you watched our last episode that we released, we are new parents, new mom, new dad to our little baby, Richard. And with becoming parents, there's been lots of changes, lots of transitioning, lots of things that we've had to learn and prepare, and that we will continue to learn. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking more in depth about that process and the internal and external transitions of being a new parent. Let's begin.
welcome to the One Flesh Podcast. I'm your host, Richard A. Irvin.
And I'm your host, Deja A. Irvin.
And we're so happy to have y'all back once again. In today's episode, we are talking about parenthood. As you can see, we have a baby now. And the first episode we did release, we talked about our update. And we're going to go deeper into that topic of parenthood because I think we got like a little glimpse of like leading up to parenthood. Mm-hmm. But now we're going to talk about the gist of parenthood.
Transition.
Yeah, we talk about the transition. Now we're going to talk about the gist of parenthood now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is parenthood for y'all. This is the sneak peek of parenthood. Has our baby is a little fussy, and he hasn't took a nap again because he has a longer wake window now. He's at the as a recording this. He's four months now. So it's wild. I can start with this. Like, it's wild to see babies develop, and like, you know what I'm saying, like. In the beginning, like when he was born, he was already like alert because like everybody was like, "How is he so alert at a young age?" Like he was literally just being born. Like the first week or a couple of days, he was like literally eyes wide open, being nosy like his daddy, and he was this looking around and everything, but it was still like he was still learning, so it wasn't like all like a baby. He was like an infant, you know what I'm saying? But now, as he got older, it's just like this is a witness in that, and that was like a whole different level. Him, I think his main thing now is like screaming and hollering. So you guys hear screaming and hollering. If you hear screaming, it don't be crying though. It'd be like actual like trying to talk or something.
Him trying to talk.
Yeah, like cooing or whatever. So it's not like screaming and hollering thing. But yeah, you want to expand on more of that?
Yeah, I think I would start the episode with talking about like the process of getting ready for parenthood. Like, what does that even look like? Maybe I'll put it this way: getting ready for parenthood, I would say, getting ready for motherhood, getting ready for fatherhood. There's like an internal transitioning and an external transitioning. So the external transitioning, that's the very obvious stuff. Getting the diapers, getting the wipes, changing the room around, baby proofing the house, everything you got to do on the outside. And I feel like that stuff was like, more self-explanatory. You make your registry and people tell you what kind of things you need for the baby. But the internal transition of becoming a parent is like, we talked a little bit about it in our life update. It's like it's like an unexplainable kind of thing. It's like newness, and you got something to say?
I know, right? Look at
it's a newness, and I would say that there really is internally. There's things that you can do to help with the transition, but for me, it was like I didn't know how to get ready for that,
Mm-hmm. He's gonna be talking in the episode. Yeah. I think
that's okay.
I think he want to talk. And he's fighting sleep too as well. So this is Parenthood for y'all. As y'all talking, as we in this episode, you're watching us do Parenthood, and yeah, I think the transition of I think the first episode we talked about like leading up to the parenthood and actually how it feels. I think like what are some changes of now, like the state of change now as far as like our current state. Like, did that make sense?
Like, what areas of our lives has it affected or changed? Is
Mm-hmm.
that we mean? Um. Well, for one, I definitely have to say it affects our marriage. Good and bad. There's good and bad to everything. I would say like we used to be able to go out on a date night, whenever we felt like it, or every Saturday, every other Saturday. But now we got a little special friend that's tagging along with us, so we gotta be
Mm-hmm.
creative in how we have date nights and how we spend time together. Um, Personally, same thing. You got to figure out the time to have your quiet time, have your alone time, cuz when you become a parent, it's like you're pulled now in a whole other direction. Like I feel like before it was just when it's just us two, you learn how to be husband, learn how to be a wife. But then step into parenthood, now you learn how to be a husband, you learn how to be a wife, and you learn how to be a parent as well. So now there's like another element to it, like an element of responsibility. So I would say that's some things that it's changed, and I don't think you really realize it until you fully step into being a parent. Till the baby is fully here. You hear people say, "Oh, you won't get any sleep," or you hear people say, "Oh, make sure y'all make time for dates," or you hear people say all these different things. But like once you're actually walking in it, it's like a whole nother level.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Yeah, because I think even the understanding of like, because every baby is different also as well too. But people get like this assumption or not assumption, but like this is how it's gonna happen or this is
Mm-hmm.
what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, like you wouldn't know or what it is or how it feels to really till it actually happens. That's a good idea. That's a good thing to understand. I think yeah, because I think I try to get the tendency to not give people advice about parenthood once they are pregnant now, because it's been a lot of people we know that had babies recently, like a lot of people, and it's crazy that it happened around the same time or like after us. So yeah, and yeah, that's crazy. And so when I talk to other guys that are expecting a baby, I usually try to give them like about how I felt or like what I did. I was like every baby gonna be different. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give you like the advice like to just be present. Be there for your wife or whatever, and and just enjoy the moment. That's what I say every time. That's my main
Enjoy
thing.
the moment.
Enjoy the moment because a lot of men sometimes uh they we the tendency to be we talked about this earlier about being so consumed with other things, and then when that happens, a lot of times you gonna be attentive to your surroundings or what is happening, and you just get consumed in other things, and like it could be work, it could be anything, it could be music, games, whatever you into, you could be so consumed in it, and then you actually miss your kids growing up. You miss like all the little small moments. You
Mm.
miss the times and that enjoying with your wife and your spouse and all that kind of things. So I think that's why I tell the guys that I talk to is to enjoy the moment because it's gonna pass by fast. Like literally, it felt like he just recently just came here, and now it's already 4 months that like flew right
Yeah.
past. So yeah, enjoy the moment is like the key thing. Being present, knowing that those little moments ain't gonna last forever in a good way, because it's gonna be greater moments. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be great moments that come after that as well too.
Yeah.
But you want to enjoy every single little moment as far as like even his developing. Like I talked about, like babies develop so much. In the first week or month, it's like he does little things here and there, but it's not like really that much. But then the second month, let's go to that. Like, what was the second month they started doing? Do you remember?
I think the second month, I noticed like him starting to smile like
Smile.
randomly,
Yeah.
not like all the time, but
Yeah.
every once in a
Every
while he
once in
would
a
start
while.
smiling.
Yeah.
Um,
The first month, what I would say that didn't change, but it happened. It was happening in the first month, in the first couple of weeks. Was we give him a bath or when he changed his diaper. Oh my goodness! If y'all had a baby or whatever, or saw a newborn baby, like every time you change a diaper, they crying. Like, what are y'all doing to me? Like, I don't want this. I don't know why
every
y'all.
time we changed him,
Every
he
time we changed,
cried.
every time
Every time we took
took him
him
out
out
the
the
bath, he started
bathtub, he
crying.
cried.
And then it slowly started like getting better because started to realize like, oh, they trying to help me. Like they ain't kind of hurt me in no kind of way. And then later on, like 3 months, he started like after 3 months, it's like he stopped crying about like changing diaper. You know, only thing that he do now when he change diaper, he squirm.
Oh
His
yeah.
legs is kicking, just like trying to
I'm
kick you off
dead.
or playing with you. Like he think it's a game or something like you playing.
Yeah.
Especially with me, like every little thing, he's like trying to play, like it's always playtime.
Yeah, that's what I noticed about Little Richard. He thinks every time Daddy go to do something, oh, Daddy trying to play with me. He's trying to play. It's playtime. It's like no, buddy. It's
Mhm.
not playtime.
Mhm.
It's not playtime.
Exactly. So yeah, I think enjoying those moments, the little moments of just them developing is key. I think uh this it's I don't know I want to relate it to the Bible, but I'm trying to think of a particular verse or event.
As far as enjoying the moment and
Enjoying a
being
moment,
present,
yeah. Do a
I would
verse come to your mind?
say Ecclesiastes.
What does Ecclesiastes say?
It's talking about there's a time and a place
I
for
I was
everything.
thinking that verse. But I was like, do it relate to? It is. I guess I was thinking that verse actually too. I was like,
Mm,
did this verse relate to it though? Seasons is season. If you consider season, could be moments. I think a season could be a moment, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you think about it, it's a moment in time or time of the year that things change. You
Mm-hmm.
got winter, spring, fall, summer. Like I put different order, but 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 it's still like moments or
That's
times.
that's Delaware, brother. We live in
Yeah, that's how
Delaware.
literally it is.
Winter,
Right now,
spring,
it's raining.
summer, fall. We don't follow the real season. They be all over the place.
Literally, yeah. Right now it's raining. And earlier it was like 90 degrees. And anyways, but yeah, it's seasons and times. I think yeah, that actually relates to it. I was thinking that verb.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think like enjoying the moment. So yeah, every life has different seasons. So it's time to mourn, time to cry, time to have joy, time to celebrate all these kind of different moments and seasons. So in the essence of that, I would say for a baby, it's a time where they're gonna fuss, it's a time where they're gonna laugh, it's a time where they're gonna pee on you, it's a time where they're gonna cry, it's a
Dang.
time where they're gonna go to sleep, it's a time they don't want to go to sleep.
I would say for me as a mom, like walking through like the postpartum part of it, I think that part that was very evident to me as far as like seasons
Mm-hmm.
because when you have a baby, your body goes through a lot, your mental goes through a lot, your emotions goes through a lot. And so just like trying to like focus your mind on, this will get better. Um like almost like the Bible talks about joy coming in the morning. Like I feel like sometimes as a mom, I've had to set my mind on that when we have like really hard nights with him or like really hard weeks where I just felt overwhelmed, my hormones all over the place. Just like focusing, like okay, like it will get better. This is the season. He's not gonna be crying and fighting and acting cray cray and pooping all over the place and he won't this is not gonna be like this forever. So I think one, that helps you to enjoy the moment, and two, it helps you not to be sit in that postpartum part of it, like feeling like it's gonna be forever, that you're gonna feel that way,
Yeah.
and that your life is never gonna you're never gonna get your life back. Almost, I think I went through that feeling of feeling like my life is never gonna be the same, but not in a good way. I was thinking it in a negative way, like
Yeah.
this sucks.
Yeah.
But like it's a season, and you have to think about it that way,
Mm-hmm.
and soak it in, because there are things that God wants to teach you
Mm-hmm.
in every season,
Exactly.
and there's things that Little Richard, he needs us. He needs
Mm-hmm.
us to be present
Yeah.
and to show up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think also one thing I could also relate to, like having a baby. I'm a spiritual person, I guess. Spiritual in the sense of biblical, not spiritual like New Age people. But anyways, I think as far as spiritual, when I say spiritual, I mean like related to the Bible and the Bible sense. Uh, it kind of reminds me of a Christian life. Like in the beginning, it's like when we take a diaper off or give them a bath or get out the bath, it's like, what are y'all doing to me? What are you doing to me? In the beginning, with God, it's like, God, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing to me. I don't know what you're doing to me. But as you go on and develop and know more about God, you start to trust Him more.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? You start to like really like trust Him. Like, okay, He's trying to take care of me. He's like, this is my actual father. Like, and for the baby sense, it's like, this is my mom, this is my dad. Like they trying to take care of me. They nurture me. They give me food. They change my diaper. They make sure my clothes are clean. They show me love. Like that's the same thing as God. Like as you get to know Him more, you like my God is actually like wonderful and loving. Like
Mm-hmm.
He cares for me. So parenthood is like a reflection of how God treats us as children of Him because He's a heavenly Father. He loves us so much. So I think that is that gave me chills.
That's crazy.
That's a beautiful imagery of how God gives a glimpse of how Him Himself personally loves us.
That's what when we visited TT's church.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should I turn my mic like this. It's probably
No, it's
echo.
perfect.
Okay. When we were visiting TT's church, that was the message on Sunday
Mm-hmm.
about knowing
Know who
knowing your father,
God is. Yeah, your
knowing
Father
who your
here. Yes,
father
yeah.
is, and
Oh
that
yeah.
he talked about how when parents first have a baby, how they're so giddy, like, oh my god,
Yeah.
look at the baby,
You're
oh I
right.
love the baby, but
Mm-hmm.
literally in the same way, the same way you're excited about your baby, your
Yeah.
child,
That's how
is the
God
same
is.
way as how God looks at you,
Yeah.
when you're His
Yeah, He
child.
see like you taking those first steps and first leaps, like and all your steps, like, okay, you got it. And then like also like in your word, when you get deeper and deeper in revelation, understanding of God, you're like, okay, yeah. Okay, go on. Okay, get deeper. Oh, you see now, huh? I'll try to show you this whole time. Like you get it now? I think that's how God does it. I mean, that's a major thing to think about, like how parenthood is reflecting God. Like, and I think that's what God does to give us a glimpse of His glory in a sense of like every single thing of creation, from parenthood
To
to
marriage,
marriage. Like the marriage, understanding a
family.
marriage of a husband and a wife is literally the representation of how God loves the church and His body. You know what I'm saying? He represents that essence. The marriage represents the essence of the representation of how Jesus relates to treats the church. As far as the husband should treat the wife, he should love his wife. He should present her blameless in front of God's eyes. The, Jesus will present us blameless in front of God's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We should nurture our wives. We should love our wives just like Christ loved the church. And what did Christ do as He loved the church? He laid down His life as a ransom for many. We should lay down our lives as a husband to our wives.
Mm-hmm.
We should make sure that we provide in every single need. Jesus provided in every single need. Like those are representations of how God is. He shows that. He gives a glimpse of that. So we have like all these mysteries and everything about God, but literally God puts it right in front of our faces to show how His nature truly is. That's a major thing to think about. Even creation, of how He showed His majesty, how powerful He is through creation, about creating the heaven and earth. Man cannot even understand how the world was actually created. They could give you an understanding, like a sense of like this is our understanding of what we found, but it's not evidence. You know what I'm saying? It's not pointing to something. But the only thing that's pointing to is that it was divine creator. That's the only thing they could see really. Like they could guess like, oh, this happened with a big bang and everything like that. But it had to be something like that behind that big bang, if you want to call it a big bang. You know what I'm saying? It's more to it, and that's what God's glory is. You know what I'm saying? You just smiling at me the whole time. I'm saying something good, Booger. All right, thank you for confirming that. But yeah, what time are we on? get real close. You could stay man count. So
So
yeah.
what are like
Mm-hmm.
what are some, I guess I don't know, it's like off topic. What are some expectations maybe that you had for how being a parent was gonna be that actually like ended up like different, or you had to like scale it down?
What you mean?
Like, did you have any expectations for like oh my goodness. Did you have any expectations for like how things were gonna be like when we had once little Richard was here? That like changed once he actually got here. Like one expectation probably that I had to scale way down was like, okay, yeah, like we only got one kid. It shouldn't be that hard to like take him along, everywhere. You just throw his bag together, throw him in the car seat, and get moving. Uh, yeah, like I go say expectations like that, and then you actually have the baby, and then you go 5 minutes down the road to CVS, and then the baby has an entire blowout in the car seat, so you can't even go in the store and get the formula that you need. That's a real life story. But yeah, I think expectation wise, I thought like it would be a little bit easier as far as like doing stuff, going to the store, going grocery shopping, going here and there. But then once he actually got here, I was like, no, not that easy actually. You want to stay home with your dad?
Yeah. I think my expectation that I had that change was uh I would say uh yeah, I thought it was gonna be easy as far as like I don't know, cause he's not a hard baby. I would say that's one thing that God did bless us with. He's not a hard baby. He really don't be crying like that. He cries only time he like cries like when he's tired, like very very tired, like fussy tired, and like when he's like hungry, and like most time when he is hungry nowadays, now he don't cry. He just like coos or like make sounds now. He don't like like pouring out crying. Like the only time he bore out crying is like when he sleep and then he wakes up and we not there maybe once in a while. He does that. But other than that, he doesn't really cry that much. I think God bless with that. So I don't want to say he's hard, but I think I didn't know everything. That's my expectation. Maybe I had
You didn't have you had a low expectation for like the amount of effort that it would actually take.
The effort,
to keep the child alive.
My expectation was very low for that. Yeah, you're right about that. Cause I thought like, oh, it's gonna be cool. Like he gonna be all right. Like he is. But at the same time, it's like
stick a bottom off and that's it.
But at the same time, it was like, oh no, this is more to it. Like even with the Giannis, not Giannis. How you say it again?
Giannis.
I said it right this time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to say Giannis. I said it right. It's Giannis. I actually said it right, y'all. This whole time he been born, I've been saying Giannis. I mean Giannis, like Giannis,
the basketball player.
I said it right. I surprised myself. Jaundice, yeah.
Jaundice.
He had the jaundice and everything. I didn't know nothing about that. She only knew about that because her siblings and everybody had it else. I never really been around people. Maybe I was, but I just wasn't aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
That people that had it and stuff. So yeah, like those things like that.
Breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding was like that's a whole other episode right there to talk about things like
For
that.
Real.
What else? Yeah, I think expectations. I mean, the episode's already long.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we could talk about that next time. But yeah, it's a lot of things that I actually did not actually know about babies, of how they act, the maturing wise. Because I think the only really experience I really had with a baby, like on the interaction on a daily basis, probably was my nephew.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, they was already like older or around my age. My niece and nephews. Yeah, I'm the baby, so like. I had nieces and nephews like actually older than me, y'all. Y'all didn't know that about me. That's a little fun fact about me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have an older sister that's actually 50 something years old. I don't know exactly her age she is. Yeah, Yeah, I have a sister that actually like 50 something years old. She could be my mom basically. She could, and she act like my mom, like she's my mom. But so all my most of her kids, besides the other one, the younger ones, like all her two other boys, they older than me,
Mm.
and then her third,
You going on a tangent, babe?
I am going on a tangent. But anyway, the gist of it is that I'm the baby. All my sibling kids were basically older than me, so I
Yeah.
only had like a couple of them that was like actually younger than me, and I could actually uh, observe that and see that. So yeah, when I had my son, I didn't really have that understanding of like how much it really takes or what it looks like as a baby growing up, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
but before we close, I know this episode getting kind of
Mm-hmm.
long. Let's just share like one of our favorite moments of parenthood so far that we had.
Favorite
Uh huh.
moments.
Story time. All right, what story went to today?
I don't know. It's so many. It's hard. It's so many. I think my favorite moment. I guess I'm gonna share which one came to mind. It's not. I wouldn't say I have a first priority favorite moment, but one moment that I actually had that I don't know why this is like favorite moment, but when he got to 6 weeks old, actually I think we didn't check him until 8 weeks, but our church only checks in baby 6 weeks and up. And when he got to 6 weeks, I was like, starting to prepare for us to go back to church and to possibly check baby in. But I would say like my favorite moments was like maybe like once he got to like around 8 weeks, like actually like going to church with him and checking him into the nursery. Like, I don't know why is that a favorite moment. I just felt like at that moment, like, oh my gosh, like he's a big boy. He's going to kids church, He's gonna learn Jesus on his level. That's what our church thing they say. Jesus on his level. But I thought that was just so cool, like a favorite moment of mine, like him going in the nursery, because it's like almost like symbolic of like, him being raised up to learn the right things. And I grew up in church. Richard did not grow up in church, but like this we are a part of the church, so like we're involved, things like that. So it just was like that connection, like knowing that he's in the hands of people that are going to love on him and take care of him, and that he's going to grow up and learn about Jesus and know God. And yeah, that would be my favorite moment, is when we started going back to church and he was able to go in the nursery because he was a big boy.
Okay. I think mine's, if I had to say, it'd probably be like a weird thing to say my favorite moment, because it was like a kind of like not really like we have faith that he'll be okay, but he like we was there like under like this like kind of like a overwhelming emotion and everything like that. That was when we had to go to the hospital again because of the jaundice, because the doctor said that he wasn't clearing up, so they had to put him under the light. But like that moment, it helped me. Like also other parts helped me. My main one was also the time the week I spent with him. But that particular day, that time we was in the hospital, it is like it was like my favorite moment in the sense of like actually like, oh wow, this is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we got a baby to take care of. We trying to be here with him and things like that. I think that was a moment that I really that I don't know. It's kind of weird to say I enjoyed it because it was like
it's like an epiphany.
Yeah, epiphany or whatever. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't nothing major. He just had jaundice. It was easy to clear it up and everything.
By God's grace.
By God's grace, and we already knew that. We had assurance that he's fighting sleep, y'all. We had assurance that he'd be okay. But yeah, and also the moment of the week I had him when I watched him by myself. When I had a week off from work.
Father-son
Yeah,
time.
that was really good too.
Summer vacay.
Yeah. So
All right, y'all. Well, we gonna go ahead and
thank you all for watching. We're trying to put them to sleep. That's Parenthood for y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like button. Make sure to comment down below any other topic y'all want to talk about, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And peace.